Monday, December 16th is the next ban list update, and good lord does Modern need some bannings. Here's what I think should happen. Let's start with the easy one. The One Ring has got to go. It's simply too format warping and too heavily played. A year ago, 23% of Modern decks played the One Ring. Today it's an unprecedented 60% of Modern decks. Wizards has been calling out the One Ring as a card that they've been watching for a potential banning for more than a year now, starting with the first ban list update after the One Ring release back in August 2023, and back then the One Ring was way less problematic than it is today. If the One Ring isn't banned this go around, I'm gonna start believing the conspiracy theory that there's something in Wizards' contract with the Tolkien estate that prevents them from banning cards from the Lord of the Rings set. But honestly, I'd be shocked if the One Ring was still legal come Tuesday. The second big issue in Modern is energy, which has utterly dominated the format since the last ban list update. Currently, Boros and Mardu energy together make up 35% of the Modern meta, which is laughable and doubly so considering that when Splinter Twin was banned, for the sake of the diversity of the format, it only made up around 10% of the field. It turns out that printing a bunch of push cards, which generate a mostly uninteractable resource, is just as problematic in Modern as it was in Standard when energy first released in Kaladesh and led to several bannings in the format. First, it's worth stating clearly that even though energy plays the One Ring, just banning the One Ring doesn't solve the energy problem. Energy was the best deck in the format before it widely adopted the One Ring. Banning just the One Ring likely makes energy even better, since it needs a One Ring less than other decks. The challenge here is what card to ban from the energy deck. It's not an archetype built around one broken card. Instead, it's a deck that's overloaded with a bunch of strong cards that synergize thanks to the energy mechanic. On Arena, Wizards nerfed Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, and Galvanic Discharge, which seems like a fine starting point, although cards like Amp Raptor and Najani are worth keeping in mind as well. Based on what we saw in Standard, where it took multiple energy cards banned across several ban list updates to finally power down the archetype, I'd rather see Wizards ban too much than too little, ideally hitting 2 or even 3 cards from the deck. It could also be that the format needs more bannings, and there's certainly a bunch of cards that could be unbanned, but energy and the One Ring are so format warping it's hard to even know what the meta will look like without them. So I ban the One Ring, Guide of Souls, Amp Raptor, and Galvanic Discharge, and then plan to make more changes in the post-Ether Drift update once we see what the meta looks like. What do you think should happen Monday? Let me know in the comments.